Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Very special episode for you. George with Humble Road is back. He just finished up this awesome van conversion, and it has mega lithium and a lot of redundancy built in. It's got 2 ways to heat, it's got 2 air conditioners, and he's gonna give us a tour. So join us.
Hello, Patrick. Good to see you again. Another van build. This one we call ROXY, after the owner's mother. This is a 2022 Sprinter, true 4x4, 3500 4x4, 170 wheelbase, dually, right? And before the van came to us, the owner had these side panels coated white. He had his wheels done, and then we took over the van and we started our production. These are capsule extensions, and we use the flare space windows. The reason I didn't use the capsule windows is because they only offer sliders, and I prefer the awning window that you can use in the rain. Outdoor 120 volt, we always put that in the van. Around the back here, as you can see, this proves my point, 4x4 3500. Owl spare tire holder, and I held off. He wanted the Owl monster box here, the expedition box. I said, we're not going to do that until we weigh the van, because I'm getting concerned we're getting a little close to capacity. So you can see there's no box there. In the back, the garage, we're starting in the garage today. We've got a custom roll-off screen, so that'll roll down to here as it normally would, and you can hold it off here and then take it the rest of the way if you want. This is a cherry floor. This is a vinyl rubber-backed floor, so it's waterproof. It offers some form of insulation and soundproofing. And then we come in, we raise the floor up 2 inches. We've got isopoly foam underneath, and there's radiant heat in this floor. We have the AquaHot heating system. So this is hot glycol. This takes care of 3 zones of heating, radiant in the floor, and our hot water, on-demand hot water with a heat exchanger. So as long as you've got fresh water, which we have 50 gallons of fresh water, that tank is so large and so high off the floor of the van that I had to include baffle balls. Baffle balls are giant wiffle balls. They're food safe. That tank is full of them. It stops the sloshing. Sloshing can become a dangerous thing when you have a tank that big. This is all 15 series 80/20 back here, and these bars, we call them the jail. These are here to protect our components from any of the stuff they want to pack in here for travel. But I always insist on being able to put eyes on all of my systems. Sure, I could certainly cover this up and make nice. I don't want to. I want you to be able to see this stuff on a daily basis, just in case a problem arises. You're going to know it before it's too late. So they've got plenty of room back here for their stuff. We've got dual 640 amp hour lithionics batteries, 2 of them. Those are being charged by a second dedicated alternator up front from Nations. We're using a wake speed voltage regulator. We've got our external BMS tied into a combiner box, and that takes care of being the brain for the 2 batteries. And then we've got a little bit of solar on the roof. We couldn't get too much up there because we've got 2 air conditioners, an AC and a DC. 30 amps of shore power as well. One of the vents, one of these zones is the garage. Now this is a really important function when you want to heat a van in really cold temperatures. We put that zone right here in the garage. So this whole area is going to get heated. That's going to end up warming the bed. There's going to be a little bit of a convection that starts. Obviously, all our beds are always ventilated. We do all this work on the CNC machine. Our walnut bulkhead, we did a little treatment here. We made our own solid walnut dowel out of square stock using a drill and a razor blade jig that we made ourselves. And we bring that square stock through the razor blades. We spin it to make a dowel. No, these weren't the first 2. We had a couple of tries, a couple of failures. Over here, behind the roll-off screen, we've got a compressor on board for his tires. This is our freshwater fill and vent. This is our garage light, and this is an outdoor warm water shower. This is controlled with a mixing valve in the back. When we get inside, you'll see we have a little Caframo fan up there. So then coming around this side, we have an Orion roof rack. The Orion is a nice roof rack. I like that. It's made up with 80/20 crossbars. And like I said, there's one solar panel up there. I gave him some brackets for his Starlink and some of the other technology he's putting up there. And on 3 sides of the van, we have spreader lights. These are basically for security. Anything is, you hear a bump in the night, you can turn on each or all sides of this van to see what's going on out there. Right back here in the corner, I put in a coax cable in case they end up in a campground and they want to tie in. We've got our smart plug for 30 amps. Down here is the external solar plug. 200 watts of solar is portable, and he can add that to the 180 he's got on the roof. This is our gray dump valve, and I always use plastic fittings in case it gets torn off, because the departure angle on Sprinters is a little dicey with the 170, and especially the extended. So if you rip that off, you can go to Home Depot and repair it. Dualies. Coming further down, this is the little pigtail exhaust for our Aqua Hot system. We have a diesel-fired furnace under the van right here, and that is got a little dosing pump, sucks the diesel right out of our main tank and sends it down to the Aqua Hot. Hot glycol runs right along. These running boards, there's a story to these running boards. Rome Built. Rome Built is the company. Now, the owner of this van chose those Rome Built running boards because they were the only ones on the market that did not use the pinch weld on the vehicle. Everybody else drills through the pinch weld. Not a good idea. It's a little double piece of metal. It's going to fail. Not good. So he bought these. They came to my shop, and we take them out of the box and we look at them, and I call the owner. He says, these are going to use the pinch weld. We call the company. They say, oh yeah, we changed the design. Well, you didn't tell anybody. My owner goes crazy. I says, don't worry about it. We got you. So John got his welding mask on, and he fabricated a beautiful steel set of brackets so we don't use the pinch weld. Fiamma awning. This is the F45. It's a manual crank awning, right? I don't believe in the power awning because they do fail, and if they break, you know, how hard is this to do, right? That's like from the Seinfeld episode. Again, all painted up here. He's got his parking sensors. We put on the black oak LED 20-inch for him. And of course, we make our own brackets. We do a lot of fabrication in-house. And now we can go inside. There's another Roll-F screen here. Comes down. You all know how they work. Custom. They come along here and down. We do all this cover work here. There's a little storage compartment right here. Sometimes I put in a picnic area. This van, there was too much he wanted inside, so we had to pull our galley all the way out to the back. 120 volt outlet here, and this is a secondary Lagoon table mount. Here's one of them right here for the swivel seat, right? Nice walnut with edge banding. But we can take this arm and table up and put it over here and vary that height. As I said, these guys are self-proclaimed expert chefs. So they've got a favorite induction cooktop they like to use. It's a beast. It's big, and it's in a dedicated sleeve down here. So we bring this over here, set it to the proper height, and that induction is flush for cooking. We take advantage of every little spot where we could put some storage, so we just built a little box here for them to put anything in there, anything of what they want. So as I said, we've got our table up here on the passenger side. Over here, I'm particularly proud of this little feature. Let me put this seat back a little bit. He's got 10-way power seats on this van. So it was important for them to have a mobile office. So this is walnut. Again, it's an elevated floor and it's heated as well. There's radiant heat in this floor as well as down here. So she'll have warm tootsies while she's working. And we made a little kick cubby for her to put her toes in. Then there's 2 storage cubbies down here. Again, we're making use of every little bit of space we have. Then when you want it, now obviously when you're driving, your seat back is here, so you can't have a nice big desk. So we pull out our own fabricated 80/20 support, very sturdy. This is using linear bearings. Then you come over with your desktop. And then you have a flush mount desk. Our lighting is, I'm a big proponent of lighting, as you know. So we've got a reading light that's here. You can be discreet. We've got a puck light. We've got some accent lighting. So this will serve double duty. If you've got your accent lights on, that's for dinner. You're going to have a nice meal up here. You got to set the lighting. And then if you want, you can open up your puck light, your reading light. We made sure to give them a window so they could get some light in here and look at, see what's going on outside and distract them from what they're doing. Got 120 volt outlet, USBs basically everywhere you need one. There's going to be a USB in our vans. And then you just fold this over. You're off to the next adventure. Up top here, we've got a cargo shelf, and this features a curtain bar in the front, and it also has a curtain track. The owner's going to get a curtain made. And then we've got a reading light here for this side. I like these reading lights. They're completely adjustable, infinitely adjustable, and spotty. So those are nice. Little detail, you know, we just extended this over the storage up here. This little detail kind of closes off this office area and makes it a little cozier. Now here you got your Cruise 195 from Isotherm. These are really nice big refrigerator freezers. Really good stuff. This stuff is all on the best yachts on the water. And then up here, we have a communication cabinet. He's going to be putting in a lot of different electronics. So we gave him AC and DC, plenty of ventilation. And of course, our signature is to combine our 80/20. It's both structural and aesthetic. We make sure of that. Everything is vented. We fabricate our own ABS vents. We do a lot of this work ourselves. Again, there's heated glycol pipes under that elevated step. So there's some ventilation there for that. This is one of the 2 air conditioners. This is the 120 volt Houghton Bel Air 3400. So this has heat. It's got a heat pump, not a heat strip. Heat pump, air conditioning, soft start. Finally, we've got an air conditioner with the trifecta, all 3. I've been waiting for that. Puck lights, tongue and groove ceiling. We made the tongue and groove ourselves in the shop out of raw wood. And 4-inch puck lights. Max air fan, of course, and that's central to the cooking area. And then back here, we've got the Nomadic Cooling 3000 watt DC air conditioner. And we choose to make our own face plates for the Nomadic Cooling. The ones that they offer are a little too tight to the hole. So we make ours a little bit bigger, and we do the hexagonal holes like they do. And we take their vents from theirs and put them in ours. Nice long hallway here and a beautiful galley. This galley is a Wilson Art product. It's similar to Corian, but it's got this feel to it. I don't know how to describe it, but I love it. And then we always do what we call a fiddle rail that goes all around 3 sides. And you know what? If you ever tried to get a fiddle rail or anything to fit around something like this, there's no room for error. So we make our own templates. We do them digitally, and then we print them out. We send files. The kitchen guy just has to hit print. Down on this end, 120 volt outlet for his induction cooker. We've got another USB, and then this is his awning lights. The Fiamma has a 13-foot light, LED light. So here is that Lagoon table. We always position them so that you can get it out of the way of the hall. When you're stationary, you're parked, you can use this as another work surface. And then, as I said, you can pop it over here and it'll be a cabinet, a counter extension. We got the cherry floor throughout, cherry laminate, and our drawers, very specific to what they want to do with them. I always use these yacht latches. A number of these drawers have a sliding insert, so you get some double duty. Here is that little specific cabinet I spoke about. This is their induction cooker, and then they've got their favorite pan in there. But if you've ever worked with an induction, this thing is huge. Look at this thing. So that's what they want. So that's going to go on that side table. And it's such a big thing that we had to build a specific cabinet for it. There's a little bit of work to get it back in there because we do work in tight tolerances. Bank of drawers in the middle. This is a nice deep drawer with another slider. And you can hear these yacht latches. I love these. They're flush. You can't catch your clothes on them. They look great. And it's a one motion action. It's not like you have to pop and then pull. One motion. Here we have trash and recycling. And you see this vent here. If you look back there, I did my version of an Aldi passive radiant heating system. The glycol, hot glycols that pass through those tubes, it's going to warm up the air inside this whole galley carcass. The entire kick plate of this galley is, again, fabricated in the shop on the CNC, and we ventilate it. You've got holes all the way down the line. So once that heat starts to catch up, it's going to suck the cold air in off the floor. It's going to warm this whole galley, eventually warm the countertop. I don't know if you noticed these types of solid surface countertops. In the winter, they're cold. In the summer, they're hot. Well, we want it warm in the winter, so that's why we tried this passive radiant heat, and then it would exit up here. This is our lighting control panel. These owners are also boaters, and the wife's mother had just passed away when we were building this van. Her name was Roxy, and the van is named after her. Because they were boaters, I got the nautical flags that spell out Roxy. Put those there as paying homage to her, and they were very touched with that. These light switches now, these are all touch dimmers. They're latching, but you don't have to push them in, you just have to touch them. And then you've got your water pump down here. Big, deep sink with a nice faucet. There's another drawer here, and we have a stainless steel backsplash, which I think looks great. So I had that made at my fabricator. The guy that does our shower pans made that up for me. And here's a little thermistor. This is like a thermostat for the AquaHot. This is our AquaHot control panel, another USB, and then a GFCI 120 volt outlet. Up here, we've got a little Galley cabinet. And inside this cabinet, in the back, is a little fuse panel. So again, I just want to have it as easy to access as possible. You shouldn't have to go in there ever, but if you do, it's that easy. These owners were very specific about their television usage. So with your seats swiveled around up front, you can pull this out and watch TV. And no, they did not want it to swivel this way and watch it from the bed. That was a specific request. No. So that's that. That locks in place. Here's another zone for the heating underneath here. So one zone is coming out, shooting across the floor. The other zone is under the bed in the garage. And then there's a third zone in the shower. Now you hear my voice go down when I talk about this because I'm very, very pleased with this. This is a 3D printed cowling that we put on the vent. So this, they call them cozies over at AquaHot. It's a heat exchanger with fans on it. This is its own zone. So we heated the shower box up to 85 degrees. The rest of the van is at 72. but we can get this box so warm, I'd almost say it's too hot in there, but if you do a military shower with these beautiful fixtures, I might add, it's nice and warm in here. You don't mind taking a military shower. So you got your rain head, you've got your slick wand that you can use, and then this is that water system where you turn on the water and you let it recirculate back to the fresh tank. When that blue disc turns white, you've got hot water here. You turn this dial and it comes out your rain head. This way you're not wasting water. We're using a Trelino toilet, which I absolutely love. There's nothing to do but put a bag in it and empty the bag. And you can pull it out of here if you wanted to, or you can use it as your shelf for shampoos and such. This is a handmade teak boardwalk, and we've got this thing keyed in. You can see these little notches at the bottom. It's that easy to take these boards out to clean. We've got 3 drains in this shower pan, and they collect, let me get that out of your way, they collect into this shower sump that we build into our shower pan. So there's a lever switch in there. When the water gets to a certain point, it lifts the switch, turns on the pump, and you get 300 gallons a minute of gray water being pushed into the tank, which is in the back of the van. Something that I have learned working on these vans, no matter what, to get from this shower pan to your gray tank, you're going up and over hill and over dale. You got to go over the rear axle, right, to get there. As soon as you go uphill like that, you've created a trap. You can have water sitting. You push 300 gallons a minute through that tube, it's all going to make it to the tank, which is very nice. So it's a split door shower, and the reason for that is you close this side and then you bring your shower curtain outboard of the shower. You can see how this comes out a little bit, and that gives you a little more elbow room. Now we've done 3 iterations of this kind of a shower curtain to give you elbow room, and we've all agreed in the shop this is the most elegant way to do it. And again, this is just a cute little use of 80/20 to use them as track brackets. And then we just melted the track and got it into position. 2 mirrors back here. I don't really use mirrors that much. Further down the line, oh, this is maple. So again, if you look at walnut and 80/20, and you look at maple and 80/20, it's beautiful. It's a very nice combination. And then the walnut and this is very specific. We made this box maple to break up this mass of walnut, which would have really closed in the van. This is pretty wide open, right? But you got this massive shower box in here. Over here, we've got this toggle lock for driving, and we've got a double pantry. Isn't that cute? So there's plenty of room there. So here's the reason for this. You know, otherwise, boom, you'd have to put such a heavy clasp on here to keep it closed. Because let's face it, if you've done a pantry, you know they get heavy. You load them up with canned goods, and the heavier it is, centrifugal force will pop them right out. So we put this in for travel. And then when you're parked, it's much easier to open these things. Command Central, here's my breaker panel. We've got a Serbo GX. This is our main shutoff for the battery. This is a lithionics gauge. All this information is redundant here, and on your phone with Bluetooth. Fresh water gauge from Kuss, very accurate gauge. And that's my shower light. I try to apply a fuzzy logic to things. So all of my light switches are here, but the shower light is over here by the shower. What else do we have? Oh, let me show you how we get in the bed. Again, I got this drawer-style microwave. They had to have a convection drawer-style microwave. This is the only one that exists. It's only about 400 pounds. So this is how we get in and out of the bed. It's a walnut step with our 80/20 treads on it. And again, you know I can cover things up and make it look pretty, but that's not the intention. Here's your inverter, your Victron inverter. Here's solar breakers. Down below is another breaker. I want you to always see that green light. I don't want you to see a yellow light blinking or a red light, okay? You got to keep your eyes on things. It's not like in your home, you take everything for granted. Then you call a plumber. Here, it's up to you. So that's as easy as that is. Queen size bed, full queen size. And you can see we've got our capsules. Now these capsules, the bed is so much larger than the capsule that we did two things for them. We put foam inserts so they could use it to stretch their feet in that if they wanted to. But we also, if you can see that, we boxed it. So now these are really nice big storage bins on either side for books, water, whatever you want. They each have a reading light. There's a USB back there. Then over on this side of the van, you've got your dimmers, PMW dimmers for your LEDs, 120 volt USB. These are your spreader lights. So these are those lights I talked about outside. You've got spreader port, spreader rear, spreader starboard, and critter lights. Critter lights are under the van. If you're parked in the desert, you know. Oh, and then we've got a night light, right? Yes, there's your night light. When these steps are down, we've got red lights so you can get in and out of the bed at night. And over on the passenger side here, over the foot of the bed, is our nice big cabinet. It goes the whole width of the bed. I put starboard sliders with handmade walnut handles, 80/20 sliders, and a little pro tip, you put the sliders all the way around, not just top and bottom. Look what that does for you. It gives you a nice finished look here. I shouldn't be giving that information away. All my cabinets have removable back panels. Very easy. A couple of screws come out. These panels come down and I can run fresh wire if I need to. I've got ventilation everywhere. You know, I'm a big proponent of that. Everywhere you look, the van breathes. So you won't ever have any mold issues. Down the end is a Caframo fan to keep them cool. They've got their rear windows. I think that's it, Patrick. I think we covered everything. I want to thank you again for allowing me to show my wares. You know, I'm always very proud of what I do and what we do. I got a great crew. And we've actually made a little change in the shop. You know, I had a tiger by the tail with Humble Road. I was turning away dozens of builds. I took in 8 van builds at a time, thinking I could hire craftsmen to help us out. Couldn't do that. So I made a big change this year. We are only going to do 2 vans at a time. Instead of doing 8 vans in 18 months, we're going to do 2 vans every 6 months. That's it. But that's a nice thing because now my build cycle is every 6 months. So if you miss one, wait 6 months, you can be one of those 2 for the next build cycle. It's going to be a lot better. We're going to be able to focus more on innovation and creativity instead of just getting the vans done, which is what it was starting to become, and I put the brakes on that right away. Next van we got coming out in a couple of weeks for you, Pat. It's a Ford Transit. I call it Stallion because it's all black. He's got 4 dog crates. He's got 4 Belgian Malinois. He's a premier competitor nationwide. He's going to travel the country with these 4 Malinois in the van with him. Where do you see this build? It's unbelievable. Couple of weeks away.
Awesome. I can't wait to feature that van. And thank you for sharing ROXY with myself and my viewers. I love the fact this has mega lithium. Not a lot of solar up there, but there's a reason for that, is the redundancy with the air conditioning.
Yes. One
breaks, you got a backup. Redundancy with the heat, one breaks, you got a backup.
Yeah.
I think I personally would use that radiant heat all the time.
Sure.
But the heat pump would be nice. You could just maintain it with that.
Yeah.
You plug in shore power at a campground.
Yep.
This is an incredible build. I love it. I'll make sure I put links in the description so our viewers can click over to your website, humbleroad.tv, and your YouTube channel, which is Humble Road. This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. I'll see you next time.